Hey everyone, it's Kino here. When you're working on splits and opening your pelvis and opening your back, especially for back bend, it's important to have a few different ways to actually gain that flexibility. Splits are all about flexibility in the lower back and in the front of the hip joint. Front of the hip joint means you have to open and stretch your quadriceps and open and stretch your psoas muscle. Both of these are really great to access with a little bit of help. We're going to start off with a simple lunge and then take that into a modified or a tighter version of a split. So if you're really working on getting the front of the hip open, it's a great place to start. Get a blanket or a towel or something that's nice and cushy that gives you a little bit of space, maybe an inch off the ground. Then place your left knee down and then the right foot forward. And then sink down into your hip joint so you can begin to feel that the front, the iliac crest, reaches towards the ground. Then hold onto your hips and just sink down and let that nice and open. Let your back foot be curled under and keep weight through the heel and just sink down, down, down. So hang out here for a few moments just to really get the front of the hips open, and then we'll give a little back bend. Reach your fingertips towards the ground and head back. Not such a deep back bend. Then hands over your head. Not such a deep back bend. Just a nice easy movement to get weight pouring down through here. Then sink your knee off of the blanket and send the right foot forward and then sink all the way down. So what this little pad is doing is giving you a little bit of a less of an angle so that you can really work on the alignment. A lot of people will do a split with their back hip pointed outward, but this time you're going to really focus on the alignment and roll the iliac crest forward and hold on to your hips. Let's just stay here for a few breaths. Firm your legs and reach out with your toes and point your feet equally in both directions, and then as you pour weight down into your left iliac crest, inhale, take your hands up as you squeeze your thighs in towards the center line, and then easy, take your hands back to your hips and check your alignment. So you really want the hips pointed completely forward. Then take the hands down, come onto your left knee, pull the right knee in, and then just gently settle into an easy child's pose just for a moment. Not too long. I don't like to rest too much between the postures, otherwise you get cold, right? And then you might, almost fall asleep. So we're gonna do the other side. Take the right knee down, and then the left foot forward, and we're going to work with the lunge. All right, so this is a basic lunge. Take the left foot a little forward and then start to sink down. Now my right side is tighter, so you might feel that you have a tighter side. Maybe the left side was tighter for you. For me, the right side is tighter. It's not good, it's not bad, just like you're right-handed, you're left-handed. You have one hip tighter than the other. Don't obsess about it, but you could stay for a little longer on your right side. Now hold on to your hips and make sure the iliac crest point forward, and then sink down into your right hip joint. So I really feel that more on my right side. Now I'll stay here for a little bit longer. What really helps when you start to feel some intensity is to really locate the source of that intensity. Make sure it's not in a joint. You should never feel pain in the joints when you're doing the yoga practice or any stretch. Taking a few breaths here, we're going to add that little back bend. So send the ribs a little forward and press the right iliac crest down, and then just gently tip backwards. Then from here, take the hands up and reach upward as you pour weight into the front of your right iliac crest, and then come back down through the center. And that should give you a nice release through the front of the hip joint. Then reach the fingers forward, slide your right knee back, and then slide that right foot forward, and just let the center of your pelvis be really pressed right into that pad, right into the blanket. Then hold on to your hips, align the hips forward, and remember, now it's the right foot that's back, so the right iliac crest has to really pour forward. Don't externally rotate the right hip joint. In fact, internally rotate the right hip joint a little bit. Squeeze your thighs, point your toes, and then inhale, take your hands up. And as you raise the hands, pour weight into your right iliac crest. Hang out here for a few breaths. Pour weight into your right iliac crest, raise the hands up, and then gently come down. Check your hip alignment. Take the hands forward. Bring that right knee onto the blanket. Bring it together. Both knees on the blanket. Settle down. Nice, easy child's pose. Hands forward. After a few breaths in child's pose, you can come all the way up. I would recommend that you really, really get comfortable here before you start thinking about advancing your splits. So just work with that and work with the blanket for a little while until you feel like you could actually go deeper, and don't really force that too quickly, too soon. Otherwise, you could injure yourself and force the body. Flexibility is all about patience and surrender. So patience and surrender are like the magic tool that will really just help your body find a nice sense of ease and relaxation. You can't beat yourself up into relaxation. You can't beat yourself up into ease and flow. You just have to slip into it, like a nice walk on the beach on a perfect sunny day. So you'll find that you can't force the weather to be perfectly. You just have to allow it to happen. Like that, your body will open slowly, slowly. As your mind becomes more peaceful, your body will be more flexible. Thanks so much for watching.